welcome to Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Bertazoid Townsend, and with me is Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Feel like I say hi, Amy, every time.
I know.
It throws me off a little bit because I don't need to tell you hi. I see you all the time.
I also am wondering where you're going to throw in the whoop.
I already did it.
No, I know. You did.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I feel like it's in different places.
I changed it. It's permanently until I change my mind again after I say my name.
Hey, we've never told anybody my gamer handle. I do.
Well, shoot. What is it?
Mrs. Mamie.
Mrs.
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 Because you play a ton of games.
Well, enough to have a gamer tag.
You used to play.
I did. I still miss it.
But today I wanted to talk about Super Mario Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently finished that game and I love it. But we're going to talk about that. We also played Cuphead, so I want to talk about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of finish things off, Stranger Things 2. We started that. We're a little ways into it. No spoilers, but
Nope.
We do want to talk about it. Okay, so with that, Mario Odyssey. What do you know about this game? You haven't watched me play much.
I haven't. I really haven't. From what from when I would briefly see anything, it reminded me of, was it Galaxy?
Galaxy, yeah. Why is that?
Because it looked like I saw flying in a ship.
Okay.
Rocket ship.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the game is you have to collect enough moons to repair your flying ship, and it goes all over the world, basically. Each level is a different part of the world, and you are basically chasing down Bowser to stop him from marrying Peach. Because apparently he can just marry her, and
I have to roll my eyes.
She has no say so. You're marrying me, and that's it. But she gets taken by Bowser, and he sends his minions, these little rabbit guys who look hideous. Yeah,
looking.
They're some creepy looking dudes,
They look
but
like they should be with
Broodals. I think they're called Broodals. Yeah,
they look like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family, but as rabbits.
they're basically that. Except for they wear top hats and stuff. They're kind of like swingers, I guess. Or is that the correct terminology? The swingers, the people who wear the top hats. I guess maybe I'm wrong. Swingers. I'm thinking like the movie Swingers.
Yeah, swingers is not what you're thinking.
What is it? You know what I'm talking about?
Like steampunk?
No.
Oh.
Like where they wear the top hats and the suits and the
zoot suit.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you call that?
Oh, I don't know what they're called.
Okay. Anyway, if you guys want to let me know on Twitter, please do. So anyway, you have to fight these guys, and they all wear hats, and you have to basically throw your hat. The game is hat centered.
Yes.
If you don't know that already.
I did see that.
You got to throw your hat at their hat to knock their hat off of them before you can do damage to them. It's all about hats.
And the hat was a character, right?
The hat is a character. Yeah. There is a hat character that Mario gets because Princess Peach, her crown is also a hat. And it is, I guess, the girlfriend of the hat that takes Mario.
I thought it was his sister.
Maybe it's his sister. I don't know. He needs to save her. So the hat has
the tiaras.
So when Bowser took Peach with that hat, now this other hat that Mario takes has a reason to go rescue his friend.
Was the hat like a world? Was there like a hat world?
Yes, there was a hat world. Yeah.
I didn't see that part, but
that was at the very beginning. Yeah. So Mario and Hattie, I don't remember his name, their goal is to try to go and find their ladies.
Right.
So
their ladies.
They work together to try to do this, and you are going to all these different worlds and jumping on other enemies with hats. Mm-hmm. You got to knock their hat off, and then you could throw your hat and possess them. And that's the big thing of this game is possessing enemies. Gone are power-ups, No more hitting a block and getting a mushroom or a feather or something like that. Now it's, I'm going to possess you and have your abilities.
It was kind of creepy. It reminded me of those like parasites that get into like ant brains and then control them.
Basically.
I was like, oh.
That's true. This hat is a giant parasite.
This is like a dark game, like forced marriage and taking control of people's bodies.
Possessing people.
Interesting.
And you're right.
Nintendo.
And, I was going to say this is a good kids game, but now that you're bringing this stuff up, you might want to keep your kids away from this.
Yeah, we have to explain it to the kids. Yeah.
There was one night when I was playing it and I looked up into the hallway and 3 out of the 4 kids were in the living room watching me play.
Down the hallway because they're supposed to be in bed.
Yeah, I had no idea they were over there. I didn't make them go to the bed. The game is cool. It is so flashy and cartoony and awesome.
I let them watch me. First off, the world that I saw the most of was the underwater, like.
There's two worlds where you're underwater.
So it's the one where a dress goes missing.
I don't remember specifically. There's the lake and then there's the ocean.
The lake. It was the lake.
All right. So the different areas they're reminiscent of a different part of the world, as if the world was like the United States, or not the United States, the Earth.
Right.
Which they do go to the United States, called New Donk City.
Oh, yeah,
and it's like New York City. That part is really cool. That's probably the best level in the whole game.
I saw lots of rain and buildings.
Yeah, well, you start off that level that way, but then after you defeat the boss in that area, it goes to normal. And there's no enemies in that area. It's just bouncing off of buildings and stuff and trying to traverse and find more moons.
Oh, cool. It's kind of like Spider-Man.
And then there's a part in that level. I don't know if I'm getting into spoiler territory, but there's a theme song for this game, and you get to hear this theme song played, and what you get to do while this theme song is playing is so cool and so nostalgic. I love it. I'm not gonna say what it is for everybody who wants to play it. It was one of those moments where like, this is awesome. Surprise. Yes, this is awesome. Same with the end of the game. The end of the game is so good. It's like, this is like paying respects to the Marios of old. They have the 2D sections, which I know you saw.
And I was gonna say, I really felt like when I watched you that it has a little bit of every Mario that I've seen. Like, it has the 2D. I think trying to find the moons, that kind of reminded me of the one we played on the Sunshine. Like, yes, how you'd have to uncover them.
All the games are that way. I mean, starting with Mario 64, you had to collect the stars.
Okay.
And then that one you had to collect the sun sprites or whatever.
The suns.
And then
I still have all that music in my head.
The Galaxy. You're collecting.
So it went Sunshine, then Galaxy. That was a big, break in between, wasn't it?
No, Sunshine was on GameCube, and then they had Galaxy and then Galaxy 2. Both of those were on the Wii. Oh. We didn't get a real proper Mario on the Wii U. We got Mario 3D World, I think it was what it was.
Oh, that one was trippy to me.
It was a good game, but it wasn't like open world kind of ish like the others were.
Right.
So this game is besides the 2D stuff that's called back to the old original Mario Brothers. It has sound effects from like Mario 3 and Mario World from Super Nintendo. It's really cool. But the biggest nostalgic callback is to fans of Mario 64. Like me. That is hands down like the best Mario in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. 3D Mario. I'll specify 3D Mario.
Okay.
And they never really seemed to match up to that quality to me ever again. I really enjoyed Sunshine, but it wasn't that same quality.
I'm very nostalgic about Sunshine.
Yeah, I am too, but it didn't reach that level for me. Galaxy didn't reach that level for me either.
Yeah, I never watched that one.
The levels seemed more contained in Galaxy than I had liked. Mario 64 was
very linear. I felt like in
it was, and I didn't like that aspect of it, and going upside down and sideways and everything kind of threw me off anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
But on Mario 64 was all about finding secrets and stuff, exploring your level and trying to find like where it would introduce the level by giving you a little hint as to where to find that star. Then you had to go find that star, and that was the fun appeal of Mario 64. Exploration and, you know, the pleasure of finding whatever it is that you're looking for. They've never really been able to nail that again.
Right.
Odyssey does that. Now, granted, they give you a bunch of moons to look for, and it kind of loses its luster once you start finding so many of them. Right. But they're still fun to find. There's still some that you require you to kind of think outside the box and explore.
Did you ever get the one on the back of the Nessie looking thing in Lake?
Yeah, anyone that you saw, I probably got.
Okay, I was wondering.
I was having so much fun just trying to collect all the moons. I think before I beat the game, I had like 220-ish, something like that. Anytime, I just like exhausted my opportunities for collecting moons. But after you beat the game, besides all the nostalgic callback from the ending, that's great. The game just like opens up even more. Now you're able to go to all these different planets that you are not planets, but continents that you went to before. But now you can find more moons. They put more moons out there. There were little boxes, or big boxes, I should say, on each level.
The ones that you said, I
the metal box, and you couldn't figure out how to get it open. Well, now I can open those. And what those do is well, no, I won't say. That's a spoiler. It's not a big spoiler.
Yeah,
it's not a big spoiler, but it's a spoiler.
I think people will appreciate that.
Yeah, because I didn't know what they did, and it was kind of cool to see what they did.
You'll have to tell me after we turn it off.
It's honestly, it's not that cool, but still.
I'm big about not ruining spoilers.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for people. I hope I didn't say too much. You feel like I spoiled anything?
Not at all.
Good. Trying to keep it as vague as possible.
You're making it sound exciting.
Because I love this game. I really, really love this game. So the collectathon part of it, collecting all the moons, collecting all the coins. They have coins in each level. What do they look like? They're
it seems like each level had a different looking coin.
Yeah, they're like purple coins, but they're designed to fit the aesthetic of the level that you're on. And there's like 50 some odd in each level. There's different amount in each level. And finding all these coins is awesome. I love doing that too. It's just as fun as finding the moons. Maybe more fun than finding the moons, in my opinion. The art style is fantastic. It looks great. The callback to the 2D Mario looks great. It looks so good playing this on the Switch. Like the Switch, it's an awesome system. I have had more pleasure out of this system this year than I ever thought I would. I'm so glad I bought one. You know, that's a different subject. I don't want to get back on that again, but the enemy designs are cool. There's new styles of enemies in there. There's small Goombas. There's
what I found, which was neat to me, is sometimes whenever it would do a callback to the 2D. There was one specifically where it was these little, they're almost like little spiky guys that would go back and forth. And it was really cool to see the 2D version and then what the 3D version looked like. And they were, I don't know, it was just surprising for me to see them 3D.
Yeah, so what she's talking about are these little black spots that were from Mario 3, I want to say, or Mario World.
I was going to say, look, Super Mario World is where I remember them, and they'd ride the little...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so there's one part where they're going up and down their wire thing, and they go from 2D down to 3D, back up to 2D, and so I
didn't recognize them as 3D until they... changed into 2D, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are those. I've seen them. It's like when you see people draw what a Pokemon is supposed to look like if it was a real animal.
Yeah.
That's what it look like.
Well, it's callbacks like that. The music is amazing. I love the music. There, I was humming several songs while I was playing. I know you probably heard me, but yeah, the tunes get stuck in your head. That's a good callback to the old games. I never really felt that since Mario 64, you know, or no, take that back. Mario Sunshine did that too. There was a lot of tunes that we were humming.
Like right now, literally, like in the YouTube, I need you to play the song
All right.
in the village.
So everything that everything about this game I loved. It was one of those games that once you start, you can't stop. Those are the games that for me are hard to come by.
I was gonna say I was waiting, I guess, because that's how I can tell you really like this game is because you talk about it all the time jokingly, but you have video game ADD. Like,
I do.
You go to every game that you can on every system that you can, and
how often do you see me studying what I have, trying to decide what I'm going to play?
And then you play it for like 15, 20 minutes, and then you put it away. But this one you stuck to, and you like. I was surprised when you said, "Oh, I beat it." What?
I couldn't stop playing it. I absolutely couldn't stop playing it. The night I got it, let's see, I got it at midnight when it released. I played till about 2 a.m. Put about 2 hours in. Thought about it all day the next day at work, which is a funny story. One of the guys that I work with.
Oh yeah.
I went to the Best Buy midnight release, and the only other person that was at Best Buy for the midnight release happened to be a guy that I work with. I thought that was just weird.
Did you ever talk to him at work? Like ask him what he thought?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've talked about it since then.
Yeah.
He beat it before I did. He loves it. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious because I work in a place where there's not that many people. There's less than 20 people in the entire company. And to run into him, I didn't even know he played games. I didn't even know he played games. So it was just completely off the wall random to see him there. So anyway, I picked it up, played for a couple hours, thought about it all the next day. And then I played again. I don't think I played Friday because we ended up going somewhere, but Saturday I put about.
Was that anniversary week?
Yeah, it was. Anniversary weekend. The kids went away for the weekend, and we had a nice, relaxing.
Yeah, you can tell you're old when you're excited about a nice, relaxing.
And it was. I got to play like 4 or 5 hours Saturday uninterrupted.
Yep, and I did
that was amazing. Yeah, that's when you get to watch me. No, it doesn't. And I got to play it on the TV too. I didn't have to play it in handheld mode. Yep. And then let's see, I played it a couple more nights until I beat it. And I every time I played it, I put 3 to 4 hours in each time. It's one of those games it's so fun. It is so fun. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, the storyline is whatever, give or take the storyline. It's nothing. It's a Mario storyline, if you know what that means. It's just, they're very bare bones, basic. The gameplay is where it's at. The finding things is where it's at. It feels good to control. Mario controls so well. I feel like if there's a moon up there or some coins up there in some looking seemingly hard to reach area, I'm going to figure out how to get it, and I'm going to have a blast trying to do it too, because there's usually more than one way to get to something. Especially in New Donk City. New Donk City has like multiple ways to get to.
That is such a funny donk. I don't know why.
It's a weird name. Yeah, all of them are.
Donk.
But all that being said, I want to touch on one negative that I had.
Oh, I never heard anything about any negatives.
Yeah, I'm talking about how much I love it, but there was one thing that I feel like, although it wasn't a deal breaker, I feel like it could have been better. And that is the level designs. They seem kind of, a lot of them were really good, and I like being able to go and find something, but some of the levels were really bland. Bland in that they were a few colors, mostly solid surfaces that you can, you jumping on blocks and stuff.
Now that you say that, yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot going on with them. I'm going to say a specific level that sticks out in my mind as one. There's a food level, and it's a food themed level. And that level is it's just bland. I didn't enjoy it.
It's almost like if a person had painted a picture to me, like saying that, I guess it's subconsciously, it seemed like if somebody painted a picture and there was like all of it had nice colors, but there wasn't a whole lot there, like it just
and the
didn't look
mechanics of the
filled.
level, you were supposed to possess these little fireballs that can swim through the hot lava of this level. And
for the food level.
yeah, and there weren't very many places you could just go. You know, it just seemed really just bland. Like but then there were other levels like New Donk City that was just booming with stuff to do, and it looked great.
Yeah.
The desert level looked great. I thought the lake level looked really great.
Yeah, I liked the lake level.
It just seemed like that they spent a lot of time and polish on a lot of the levels, but some of them were maybe done quickly and not a lot of time and effort was given to, and that being one of them. Now I don't know if that's the case, but that's the way it felt to me playing it.
Okay.
It didn't take away from my enjoyment of the game, obviously, in any way.
Right.
It was just something that I feel could have been done better.
Got it. Yeah.
One other thing I want to say about this game that I can think of is the boss designs. The bosses were so fun in this game. Like,
they were very interesting. The ones that I would walk in and see.
They're all of them are have a certain way that you're supposed to defeat them. All involving throwing your hat at them in some sort of way. But there were a lot of unique uses of the different bosses, and they were fun. Like, my favorite boss in the entire game was I know I showed him to you. The guy, it was just a face with two hands.
Yeah.
And it's like a big stone pillared creature. And the facial expressions on this stone creature while you're trying to defeat him, they were hilarious to me. He had so much personality, and all it was a face. And he had so much personality in these expressions. Like, whenever I would, get ready to hit him or something, he'd go, ooh, his face his eyes would get really big, and his mouth would make an O shape, and it was hilarious.
How's that go again?
Ooh. So all the bosses were fun, but I've spent a long time talking about Mario, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there. I don't know what else I can say about it. If you haven't played this game, get it. Is it worth buying a Switch for? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really? Just for that game?
Absolutely. Yes.
That's
I mean, you also have Zelda. Like, if you are on the fence about buying a Switch, there are two amazing games that I can tell you. Both of these games are like the best games that I've played in a long time, and are going to stand the test of time as games that I'm always going to call back onto. The Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey are amazing games, and they're absolutely worth buying a Switch for. So,
you heard it here.
You heard it here, folks. Buy a Switch if you haven't yet. Another game that I just recently played was one that I actually bought for my daughter for her birthday. Is one that she really wanted.
Yeah.
And I was interested in it. I really wanted to play it. And that's Cuphead.
Yep.
The art style in this game was so appealing to me, and everybody in our family migrated out to the living room so that we could watch it. It's just the style of it is just so intriguing. You want to look at it. So I'm sure most people already know, if you're listening to this podcast, you're familiar with Cuphead, but what does Cuphead look like?
It's like a 1930s character that was created.
It's like they took a 1930s cartoon and created a video game out of it.
Right.
It is to a T everything that you would remember about a 1930s cartoon.
Yes,
like
the music, the way the characters look,
the way they talk, that muffled kind of, you can barely understand what they're saying. Their accents when they're speaking. Yep. The style of the animation and how they loop the characters when they're just like at the title screen, when they're just moving back and forth, like a standard loop you would see in an old 1930s cartoon. To me, it looks like, what if this style of cartoon never went away? Yes. And here it is today. This is what it would look like. And it's amazing. It is amazing. I love it. The only reason why I didn't buy it off the bat is it came out the same day the Super Nintendo Classic came out. I kind of
you were distracted.
I kind of blew my money on that one, and I was distracted. I always intended to go back and get it eventually, but got it sooner.
It's good you waited though, so we could give it as a birthday gift.
Yeah, I guess it worked out in that sense because she really wanted that game. She drew me a picture of it that I have hanging up at work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up buying that game, and another reason why I didn't really buy it immediately, it was regarded, or a lot of people were talking about the difficulty and how hard it is, and I wasn't quite sure I wanted to really put up with that. I didn't want to put up with that frustration. So yes, the game is hard. It is a difficult game, but it's not impossible.
No.
The controls are really, really tight. If you die,
and you will die a lot.
And you'll die a lot, yes. But the thing is you need to die because it plays exactly like an old school classic game where you have to play a level or a boss over and over and over again to learn the patterns, learn the attacks, learn what they do before they do an attack, so you know what you're supposed to do to dodge this attack. And that only comes with repetition. So we would play, and my daughter is good. Katie is good at this game.
She has her heart set, like, at the end of this, she wants to talk
about it. Yeah, I will interview her and post this on the podcast as well. But she does want to talk about this game, but she is so good at it. It blows me away how good she is. She's
a gamer. Well, I guess they're all gamers, but
when we were playing it, she was sticking with me the whole time. I thought I was going to have to carry. Playing co-op, I thought I was going to have to carry us through, but we don't. And what's cool about the co-op is when one person dies, if you can get to them fast enough and tap the right button, you can bring them back. And so we'll be playing through a boss and constantly bringing each other back to defeat the boss. Right. And it'll take us...
It seems like having a partner in this game, like...
It works. Yeah. It works well, and I like it. It's fun. Especially having someone who is as good as you are, which she is. Blows me away.
I could not do that.
So we were playing this game and we beat. There's 2 islands. I think we beat all the bosses on the first island already.
Really?
Yeah. We would get to a boss and we would be determined to not stop until we beat that boss.
How late did you let her stay up, Dad?
Oh, it wasn't late. Probably 10 o'clock. I think we spent on average, we spent about 15, 20 minutes per boss before we beat them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it would go from getting beat quick, as soon as we start to now we progress to the next phase of the boss. And then you learn more and you're dying constantly. And then there's 3 phases to each boss. And each time you get to a new phase, it's like a whole new learning cycle. So then it's like playing Simon. You got to go back, and whenever you restart, you got to replay the first part of the boss and remember all that. Then the second part, remember all that, and then the third part. Right. It's fun. Well, what were you gonna say?
I would be back in the bedroom, and it would be funny because again, everybody loves this game. Everybody goes out so that they can watch this game, and I would be, reading or writing or just whatever in here, and then I would hear everyone go, "Oh!" like, or everybody would cheer, like all, like I knew, man, I knew when you beat somebody, and I knew when you died because everybody just gets so into it.
The last time I got this excited about beating a boss in a game and having that sense of accomplishment. The Dark Souls games. I hate to say that. Everybody likes to count that as the hard game, and compare it. I'm not comparing the two at all. But I am saying, like, the gratification that I get from defeating a boss in Dark Souls is the same type of sense of accomplishment that you get in Cuphead. And it is so cool. And the fact that we get to work together as a team and do this is a great family game, guys. If you have a kid that is into gaming and you're looking for something to play together, Cuphead all the way. Make sure they're a little bit older though. Make sure they're a little bit older. And if they are susceptible to getting frustrated and throwing things, maybe not. Which surprises me because Katie has a bit of a temper.
She's very competitive. Like she's just competitive. She reminds me of you.
She's very competitive. I don't consider myself to be competitive. I don't.
the last podcast we talked about how we couldn't let the 4-year-old get too many punches in.
So that's not about being competitive. That's more about I can't play this game and like not do what I'm supposed to do. I'm serious. It's not about being competitive to me. Okay, whatever. If you want to call it competitive, that's what it'll be. But to me, it's like I'm playing a game and I have to play it like I'm supposed to play it, and I can't just not push the buttons that I know I'm supposed to push. That's all it is to me. So, yeah, Cuphead recommended.
And it's good for everybody. So since I'm not a gamer, it's one that even if you're not a gamer, you're going to enjoy watching. Like just everything about it. You're just going to feel like you're
Don't be scared off by the difficulty either. Yeah, don't be like me. I didn't get it because I was scared off by everybody talking about the difficulty. It's not that hard.
And I don't think it's rage quit either. It seemed like people were talking about, I kept seeing people say, be prepared to, hate a game so much, because you keep dying. And
I disagree with that. Yeah, it's not that difficult.
I didn't get that, feeling at all.
It's not like Rule of Rose difficult, where the game is just broken and it's, frustrating. That game is frustrating. Cuphead is not frustrating. Cuphead is do it over and over and over again until you figure out how to do it. And, the restarting the level is super fast. Mm-hmm. So it's like you do it and you die, whatever, you're right back into it. And it's not that big a deal.
Right.
They keep you going. And it's got that, the pool is to make you keep trying again, and you want to keep trying again. I'm not one who's big on repetitious gameplay and doing things over and over again, but it works in Cuphead. It works really well in Cuphead. The art style helps tremendously. I'm telling you.
Oh, it does.
As someone who loves, art in games and can really appreciate art style in game, the art style in this game is a real big draw to keep me playing.
I felt really proud too how she drew, like it was inspiring for her enough to her to even like recreate it. And again, whenever she drew it and you posted it to our Twitter, what was it? One of the 2D animators?
Somebody who works for the studio liked it, so I showed it to her, and I thought
that was really sweet.
She was very like happy about that.
She's been
that's one of those things like that's one of those things like when something like that happens to anybody, especially a child, it encourages them and it makes them want to continue. And so that's why I wanted to show her that, look, a 2D animator for this game liked your picture, Katie, and she's eating that up, and it's just making her push further to get better. And I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So changing subjects, we're going to talk about something non-gaming just briefly.
Yep.
We started Stranger Things 2 on our anniversary weekend. We didn't get all the way through. The plan
was to binge it completely, but
Mario got in the way, and parties, we went to a Halloween party. Yeah, we had a good time. So we didn't get to finish it, and we still have yet to go back to it. We need to go back to it.
We do.
We got about halfway through the series, I'd say. We got 4 episodes in, and I'm absolutely in love with this show.
I love it. I mean, I was worried about that would happen, and we won't give any spoilers. I mean, we're only halfway through it anyway, so I don't really feel like we could give too many spoilers, but I was really worried because of how good the first season was. I was really worried that it just couldn't live up to that hype and that mystery and the strangeness of it.
That's a very logical thing to think. A lot of things don't live up to the original.
I'm hearing a lot of people say that they like it even more than the first.
I am one of those people. So I'm only halfway through it, and I am liking it so far a lot more than the first. And
I like it on par.
Yeah, I'd say on par, but if I were to pick one, I would say the second season is better in my opinion. It feels like it's a little bit more lighthearted. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, I mean, at the point we're at, we're only through episode 4, and as of right now, it feels that way. I miss though Barbara. I was team Barbara. I thought she was super cool.
It doesn't bother me either way.
I was team Barbara.
Whatever. She meant nothing to me. She was the character who should have left the party, but she was a good friend, I guess.
No, I
To a
yeah,
fault.
I really like
To a fault.
her character.
But I mean that plays a big role in this season too, which is really cool.
Yeah,
how they keep up with that, and it's a big story point in the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
But on top of that, it's like I feel like this season is better because I already know the characters. They already did the character development in the last season, so I don't feel like I need to catch up on that at all. And they're able to play off of each other better. Like all 4 kids, they all just. They feel more believable.
They are such good actors. I mean, I'm not an actor or anything, but they're just really good. Like to hold up these characters and with the subject matter. I mean, it's not super dark, but they're just really good at what they do. They
play off of each other. Yeah, they play off each other really well. I
think it can be really easy to watch a young actor and just be kind of annoyed with their character, but they hold. I mean, clearly they hold the whole thing. Like,
and that's absolutely right. I mean, it's difficult to find a good show with kid actors, i.e., any Disney Channel show that just annoys the crap out of you.
Cable, and it's for reasons like that. Like, I can't watch any of that.
Any of the kids shows that our kids watch, or even the ones I remember,
I don't even know.
Bad.
Like our kids pretending act better than. Never mind. Just.
Well, besides that, so you know all the characters and they all work well together. They're all playing with each other off of each other well. They're funny. Everybody's good. Even the characters that you didn't like from the first season.
Yes. Yeah.
You kind of like in this season. Yeah. They kind of had
and they're introducing new characters.
They're introducing new characters.
And they are they're different. Great characters.
Yeah,
right?
They're different. But playing off of the events of the first series or the first season, they're also doing really well with that. This is like a real, true, great follow-up to last season.
Yeah.
In every way. Like, I don't feel like they're leaving anything unaddressed at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's good for that. So absolutely, if you haven't already, watch the first season. I'm shocked to find out there's a lot of people who hadn't even seen the first season. I'm sitting there trying to talk to different people about season 2 and like, oh wait, don't talk about it. I haven't even seen the first season. It's like, how have you not seen the first season?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I'm, as one who doesn't watch much TV, if at all.
True. Yep.
This is a show that I watch, and I'm just totally in love with it.
He's definitely a gauge. So if he likes it, then yeah.
Engaged enough to watch it. I would watch it all the way through if I could. But it also helps that they release all the episodes at once.
Yeah, I like that it makes it binge worthy.
Yeah. So like Walking Dead, I got out of Walking Dead because I got sick of waiting for it to be released.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where it's like, okay, I'll just wait for them to release it all on DVD and then I'll watch our Netflix and I'll watch them all the way through. And then by the time that happened, it's like,
You'd
I lost
already
interest.
read the comic book too, and so you kind of knew what was coming.
I'm one who is easy to lose interest on TV shows, especially if they drag them out. And Walking Dead, to me has been drug out too far. I think Stranger Things could do that too. I don't know. At this point, I'm still totally into it. I just hope they don't run it into the ground.
Right.
I think that Stranger Things could continue as a series, maybe with different characters and stuff, and still work.
Right.
Same time frame, completely different story. It would still work. I don't know, because the setting really helps engage me for sure. It's a callback to 80s nostalgia. As you know, as a collection, you can see I'm a nostalgic person. So
even the colors in it are very just 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The music, the freaking title screen is so nostalgic to me. And it's an amazing series. So if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's great.
I was going to, this is breaking away from that.
What?
I went and saw a movie that I was super excited about, that I went and saw in the theater with a friend.
We talked about that last time, I thought. We didn't.
No, I didn't. I'm a little nervous, not nervous to talk about it because I feel like there's such a big fan base that I'm worried that we'll have people contacting us, like, because I got it wrong. But I went and saw the live action of, why did it just
Tokyo Ghoul.
Thank you, Tokyo Ghoul. That's embarrassing. Okay, so
I do it all the time. Don't be embarrassed. I get here in front of this microphone and, everything that I know by heart and I could tell anybody, for some reason this microphone makes me forget things.
It's like it sucks it out.
It does.
So a friend of mine posted on Facebook, this person building. Okay, so Tokyo Ghoul is both a manga and an anime.
Right.
And I've not read the series, but I have watched the anime. And I don't know, I cannot tell you why I am so drawn to this, because I watch anime, I like it a lot. And there's just something about this series that just literally, like, I could watch it over and over and over and over.
Like Sherlock?
Yes. Well, I'm just not done with Sherlock.
No, so. Yeah, you watched it several times.
Elementary. Oh, yeah. No, I love Sherlock, too. That's a good one.
I thought Sherlock was...
It is. Because I'm watching Elementary right now.
No, not Elementary, Sherlock. You watched Sherlock at least 3 times.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. No. So the premise is it's kind of like an alternate Japan, because it's like set modern and everything, but there are these two, like, there's humans and then there are these things that look like humans. They're called ghouls. And you can only be born, well, you're supposed to only be able to be just born a ghoul, and a ghoul, in order to survive, has to eat humans. Like, there's no getting around it. And so naturally, people are afraid of ghouls because, it just seems scary.
They're a predator.
Right. But there is this character in it. His name's Ken Kaneki. And he, something happens, and he's a human. And something happens and it turns him into a ghoul, which is just not really supposed to happen because, and I'm not. You
can't turn somebody into a ghoul.
No, you can't. It's not like a vampire or a zombie, like you catch an infection or anything.
You're born a ghoul, or you're
not.
So
he's half ghoul. He becomes half ghoul and half human, and he has to, like, consume humans. And he meets, like, there's different camps, but I was really excited to go see this live action because I just love everything about it. And so I'm glad that I had a friend say something on Facebook about it. So
it was a limited release. I think there was only one theater.
I literally learned less than 24 hours before, and I contacted our friend Holly, who's been watching a stream, Rule of Rose. I contacted her and we were able to go, and there was nobody there, which honestly I was really surprised because there's a huge fan base, at least in anime world, there's a huge fan base for this.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, honestly, personally, I felt like the live action supported the anime really, really well. Like,
yeah,
she had never actually seen the series, and it made her and her husband go and begin watching it.
Well, what little bit you showed to me, it didn't really do it for me.
I know, it's not your flavor.
I like anime that has a, like a strong protagonist type character. Like I guess I've touched on this before.
Definitely a strong protagonist.
Well, maybe I didn't get far enough into it, but it was more him trying to cope with what was going on with him. And it's just kind of boring to me.
See, and that's what I really like about this series is I feel so bad for him because he is such an unwilling, like, he didn't want this. And this is like a crazy thing. Because, like, you're terrified. You end up, first off, you're terrified of them. And then you become half of one. And then you have, the special police force that comes after you. It's just, to me, like, my favorite kinds of books are, there's like this tragic thing. Like, I like the tragicness about things, and it definitely hits that tragic note on pretty much every level.
And that's probably why it doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
It's the mood was not hitting me right for that movie, or that show. But like other shows where, you got this just cool dude who just can't do wrong. Maybe he might mess up here and there, but most of the time he can't be messed with. He like the one I've been watching, One Punch Man. That is such a good anime. I really like that anime.
Enjoyable.
This guy, he cannot be defeated. He's like ultra powerful, and it seems like each episode would get more boring because they always throw some new enemy at him that, you know, is like destroying different parts of the world and destroying all these different heroes. But then you got One Punch Man who comes over.
Well, that's what's funny.
He just flicks him with his finger.
It's
and that's
almost like he gives everybody else a chance, and then whenever, like, but you always know that how it's going to end.
Yeah,
there's just one punch.
He is undefeatable. Like I haven't got through the whole series yet, but there is absolutely nothing that can touch him. But the funniest part about that show to me, he wasn't born that way. Right. He was like...
He worked out so much his hair fell out.
So the storyline as to why he's so powerful is because he worked out, like, he had to become stronger because he got bullied and stuff and picked on, and, you know, nobody took him seriously. So his ultimate revenge was to work out so hard until he became, like,
he wanted to be a hero. There's like this, like, hero
worked out so hard that his hair fell out and he could kill anybody with one punch. It's a good anime. If you guys have not seen it, I recommend it. That's kind of animes I'm into. I love ones. I
feel like there's humor. You might like
I like
Assassination.
Humor.
I think you might like that one. That one was really good.
I like humor, but I also like shows that have a strong central protagonist, and they build their story around that.
Yeah, you liked Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, or Space Bounty Hunters.
Space
I like
Cowboys.
That too.
That's how I think of you.
Yeah,
you like cowboys and space.
Outlaw Star is one I really love. Yeah,
we have the almost like opposite taste in anime.
We have the opposite taste in movies too. It's just we don't have to always like the same things.
We compliment.
What do you think about Mario Odyssey?
What do I think of it? Like the game?
I'm just joking.
Oh. No, I enjoyed it.
Since we have opposite taste.
No, I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, I guess the same goes for Rule of Rose. You're liking that one.
I'm loving that one.
I'm not liking it.
I'm loving the story. It hits all of this tragic.
But I wonder if your opinion would change if you were the one behind the controller.
Yeah, no, because when you talked about the possibility of you not finishing it, I have like been trying to wrestle with myself, like, do I want to do it?
No, you don't. I'll finish it. Just for you, okay, I will finish it.
Good.
I think I'm about ready to go back to it.
Okay, good. Me too. I'm really ready to go back.
Well, with that, I think that's going to wrap us up.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. I'm going to interview Katie. I'm going to bring her in here in a second, and we're going to talk about Cuphead. So if you want to listen to that, stay tuned to the end of the show. Otherwise, you can find us online on social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of those fancy fun places. At JABGcast is where you find us.
I'm like,
I was going to leave it up to you, but I don't know if you remember my handles or not.
I don't remember the handles.
Okay, all right. So that's why I'm just going to...
I will know them next time. I will give
all right, memorize that stuff.
I will.
Yeah, so give us a follow on Twitter. That's where I'm most active, I'd say.
Yeah.
And Ryan posts there as well. Which Ryan still is not here. He's got personal things going on. He'll be back eventually.
Yep.
And we'll have him back on. We'll talk about what he's been playing.
While we're waiting.
Yeah. So anyway, and also if you're an audio only listener, you can catch the video portions of these podcasts on YouTube. Yep. Just search Just a Bit Gaming.
And I'm gonna start manning the Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Amy do my Facebook stuff because I don't Facebook very well.
I'm a housewife and
I can Twitter and Instagram.
On Facebook.
I can Twitter and Instagram. Facebook is not my thing. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. So with me today is my daughter, Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
You have been wanting to come on this show for a while, and now you get your chance. Are you happy?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring you on to talk about something. Do you know what that is?
Cuphead.
That's right. So, how did you find out about this game?
Well, I was watching you watch the Xbox thing telling you about these new games, and they reveal them, and then I saw Cuphead. Mm-hmm. And then when I watched more and more videos on it, I became more interested in it and really wanted to play it.
Yeah. Well, then you went as far as to draw a picture for me to show off Cuphead. Was that your
Yeah.
way of secretly telling me, buy me this game, buy me this game?
No, that was my way of saying I really want to try out this game.
Yeah, that's true. I believe you.
Plus, I was just doodling, and then all of a sudden, I just got Cuphead in my head, in my mind, and
Yeah.
then I
What
just
attracts
started
you to that art style? What do you like about it?
how it's old style looking.
Yeah. And it's real creative, isn't it?
Yes.
As far as games go, have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
No, I haven't
Only
either.
old TV shows.
Yeah, it's like completely drawn from old 1930s TV shows and movies and stuff. You don't see that art style in games at all.
Especially
It's really unique.
the animation.
The animation, the way they move, and
Yes.
the expressions that they make and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. So besides the art style, what else appeals to you about this game?
The animation.
Well, I mean, yeah, we talked about the animation,
Yeah.
but what about the
Oh.
difficulty of it?
The difficulty, yes, and the bosses.
The bosses, I agree. The bosses are really cool. So, with the difficulty, was that did that scare you away from it at all?
No.
Why is that?
I like hard games. I like to up my game a little bit and attempt harder games each time I beat a hard game and then go up to harder games.
So you see it as more of a challenge, that's something that you can do and gets that sense of accomplishment though, right?
Yes.
So you like seeing a challenge in front of you, and you just want to get through it, and pat yourself on the back when you do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and that's why you've been kind of drawn to old school classic games in general,
Yes.
because you've been playing like Earthbound.
Yeah.
And that's a hard game too, but you're pumping way through it.
Yeah, I'm already on this first boss.
Yeah.
The robot form of it is hard.
Yeah. Well, you'll get through it. I know you will. What do you think about the co-op in Cuphead?
It's pretty good because you get more than one chance.
Yeah.
Because you can heal your character.
Yeah. Do you think this game is better to be played with, a friend or a family member versus by yourself?
I would say friend or family member because it is better and you get more than 3 hearts.
Oh yeah, because you can bring each other back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's fun to beat these bosses together
Yeah.
and work together as a team to try to get through it.
Yeah, because when you just do it alone, then it's more raging and and it's not as fun accomplishing it with someone else.
Yeah, I agree. So, would you recommend this game to other families, if they want to play together, like parents with their kids or siblings,
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you want to say about Cuphead? I can't think of any other questions to ask.
I like the characters.
Do you? Yeah. What are their names?
Cuphead and Mugman.
Mugman, that's the other ones. I'm always Mugman because you won't have to be Cuphead. Cuphead. I like Mugman. Mugman's cool. He's got the big blue nose. Big round blue nose.
I like Cuphead.
Yeah. Yeah, so whenever we play, you always have to be Cuphead.
Yes.
Reminds me when I was a kid, when I would play Mario Brothers with my brother, I always had to be Mario. He had to be Luigi. There's no way I was going to be Luigi. I'm Mario.
If we play Mario Kart, I have to have the game in and everyone has to join me because I want to choose my character.
Play by your rules or not at all, right?
Yes. And if I don't do Rainbow Road, then I rage off the game.
Oh, man. You don't want to rage.
I only do it sometimes when it's a map that I hate.
Yeah.
Or when I'm just done, even though the race isn't done.
You haven't raged off a Cuphead yet, though.
No.
No. That's good. All right. Well, Katie, anything else? Any closing statements you would like to make before we close this out? anything you want to tell people about Cuphead? Any final thing?
Cuphead is really fun, and I recommend it for families to play as a family game and take turns as it. Or you could just do it with a friend as a gaming night. There
you go. Well, nicely put. Thanks for sitting with me, Katie, and talking about Cuphead. I really like that game.
Speaking of Cuphead, when are we going to stream it again?
We are going to have to stream it again soon. Maybe tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right. Katie?
Yeah?
Thanks for sitting with me. Love you. Say bye.
Bye.